Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. That absolutely freaking sucked. You just got your ass absolutely handed to you. Absolutely handed to you. From start to finish, you got your ass absolutely handed to you. In the beginning of the week, from Monday until Wednesday, even Thursday, when we talked about it on the show, I told you that this defense would be better. They really did good. They did really, really good. God, I'm so pissed off. I have not been this pissed off in a long time. Guys, like I'm extremely pissed the fuck off. Excuse my language, but I'm just going to say it. I'm legitimately pissed the fuck off. I'm sorry for the language, but there's no other way to say it. No other way to say it other than I'm pissed off. Guys, you can call into the show, 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387. I would love to hear what you guys think about the game. We will break this game down. This is the LSU Postgame Show. My name is Blake Ruffino, and this is Are You Serious Sports. Blake Quibido says, I hate Texas A&M. I do too. Jordan Taylor says it's about to go down. Yeah, it's about to go down. Because let me tell you, Jordan Taylor, why in the hell it's about to freaking go down. Kellen Mond went 11 of 34 tonight for 105 yards, 3.1 yards per attempt. Let me repeat that. No, not even an attempt. Well, yeah. 3.1 yards per average. 11 of 34. Yes, I've been sipping a little bit, but 11 of 34. If you guys would have told me in the beginning of the show or beginning of this game, Kellen Mond would go 11 of 34, I would have taken that. It's fucking unbelievable. Again, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing, but I have not been this pissed off at an LSU performance in a long time. Guys, you should have been shut out. Legitimately, you should have been shut out. All week, we talked about LSU's offense been struggling. 19 points per game in the last 2 points. Guys, they're averaging 5 points per game in the last 3. 5. And you're going to try to sit here and convince me that it's, Blake, it's the defense. Bo Pelini sucks. I'm sorry, but the defense has shown up for you the last 2 weeks. I don't give a damn that Isaiah Spiller ran for 141 yards when Kellen Mond goes 11 of 34. I don't care. Have absolutely no care in the world. A&M's offense went 2 of 16 on third down. That means to tell me how many 3-and-outs and how many times did this defense get off the field? I'm gonna pull up y'all's guys' comment. Bucknut says Blank need a blunt and a drink. Well, I got a drink to all 172 of you. I have a drink right now. But what I don't have is a care in the world on this LSU team. Steve Ensminger called the worst game that I've seen him call in a very long time. It was absolutely horrendous. All these little short passes down the middle of the field, not taking a shot. The one shot he takes was the bitch call that the referees made when Keyshawn Boutte caught that ball in the end zone. Horrible call. Let's see. Quinn says, imagine what this team would be like if Miles stayed healthy and the defense continued to be better. Quinn, I get what you're saying there, but he's not healthy. He got injured in 2018 as a backup quarterback. It's 2020. He's injured again. That means you misrecruited a guy and he's not out there on the field. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, but Miles Brennan's not on the field because he's injury prone. As a freshman, he dislocated a shoulder that nobody knew about. I mean, he's an injury prone guy. He always has been and always will be. Would this game have been different? Absolutely. Did TJ Finley make some horrible calls and horrible throws? Yes. Did the offensive line, who I've defended sometimes, play absolutely shitty? Absolutely. Chasen, you can't convince me that there's not a guy on the sidelines on that LSU football team that's not better than Chasen Hines. You can't do it. Chasen Hines played like shit. Liam Shanahan played like shit. Dare Rosenthal gave up 4 pressures and got pulled for Cam Wire. He played like shit. Blaine Smith says, where was Ricks, Palmer, and Carter? Well, Ricks is suspended Wasn't going to mention that during the week, but he played a little bit. He got pulled. Palmer's hurt, and Carter, I have no idea. He didn't wake up pissed off this morning, but I'll tell you that. I'll mail you a blunt primo stuff. I don't want a blunt. I just want LSU to win. I don't care about that shit. I just want LSU to win. And they're playing like girls. Let me not say that. They're playing like pansies right now. Everyone join the show. All 208 of you. We appreciate it. Do us a favor. Hit the like and share on Facebook. Hit the retweet on Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Daryl says, terrible play by the O-line tonight. QB's under pressure all night. 100%. 100%. There's nothing else you could put it on. You can't put it on this defense anymore, guys. Last 3 games, you can't put it on the defense. I know you're going to put it on. I know you're going to put it on the defense against Auburn, but really and truthfully, if you don't have 2 turnovers that generate 14 points, guess what? You're actually in that game. You're going into halftime 7-3. When you're down 28-3, yeah, you're going to give up at times. Josh McNeek says they started swapping quarterbacks way too early, in my opinion. Not saying the swap wasn't a good idea, just started back and forth way too early. Well, they couldn't get anything going. I mean, last week they didn't care that they were running for 3 yards per play. They had no care in the world that they were only getting 3 yards per carry. Tonight, it seemed to affect them, and they got away from the running game. If you're freaking going to run the football, run the football. You can call in. I'm getting some personal messages. Blake, can I call in? Yeah, the number's right here. Guys, the number is right here. Because it's not the night. Let's see. Billy says, we don't want anything to do with Bama. They're going to score 100 points. Yeah, they're going to come in here next week, and they're going to really put it on our ass. Bama game next week, we're going to get our asses whipped probably if the offense doesn't get something generated. Miles Brennan, bring your ass back because either you need to go through surgery or you need to bring your ass back. Stop playing the pansy ball. Bama and Florida beating us by 50. I can see that. Brady Blake says, don't say play like girls. I could have played better than what I saw offensively. Yeah, Brandy, it's just an expression. I'm sorry. I don't mean it like girls because, your girl Sarah kicked today. I don't mean it like that, but you're right. Let's see. Time for Slinger to give up the reins on offense. I couldn't agree more. His play calling is out of date. He's throwing these underneath passes. That's not how games are won in college football anymore. Just not. It's just not. Not going to happen like that anymore. One of the worst called offensive games I have ever seen my time in covering or watching LSU. It's not close. And you know what? Okay, we got a phone call. Mr. Colin Thibodeau, what's going on tonight, man?
What's up, Blake?
Just sitting here drinking and pissed off, man. What about you?
Well, I'm the same. I'm the same. But what are we supposed to do, Blake? Look, it's you and me, we talked about it earlier. I said it may have been in the moment, but I was at a point, fuck it, fire everybody. Excuse my language, sorry. But,
look, I don't think you should fire Bo Pelini. I mean, Bo Pelini, the defense went 2 of 16 on held for 2 of 16 on third down. You only had 105 passing yards. Kellen Mond went 11 of 34. I'm not going to say fire everybody, but offense is an average of 5 points the last 12 quarters. It might be time for Ensminger to take a – and look, Colin, we talked about all last week that Linehan is starting to tick me off, and he needs to go too.
Yeah, he does. He does. And like I said, I came back a little while later. I said, okay, maybe I was in the moment. I'm willing to give Pelini another year in where maybe hopefully we can actually install a defense and sit there and have a whole off season and guys sitting in the room and then going out onto the practice field and doing all these things and getting in the right position and making the right calls on defense.
Yeah.
But as far as offense goes, now we see where the offense was last year and who was responsible for it.
Well, I mean, you can't debate that. You can't debate that it wasn't Joe Brady. Not anymore. You can't debate that shit. Okay, because you're running a quick slant on 3rd and 7, a 3-yard quick slant, right? Yeah. Like what is that shit?
Or when we in the I think it was a second down in the third quarter, and we're throwing 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and expecting it to do something. It's these plays. I mean, look, we knew we had problems with offense when we're on the 1 yard line against Missouri, and we couldn't get it in. 4 plays, and you couldn't do it. And you see what happens when you get and where was Arik Gilbert for that? Was sitting on the sideline. Look what happened when you gave Arik Gilbert a shot tonight. He lined you up, gave you a chance to give Marshall, so you don't walk out of College Station with a 0.
Well, the one time that Gilbert had a catchable ball was right there at the end of the game, and he got you 14 yards and broke 5 tackles.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
He's a mismatch. You have to changes have to be made. You have to go. I mean, we're not the only school that has to go through, has a good season, loses guys, and has to refill those positions. Some schools do it every year. You
Completely
have to
agree.
go. You have to find that. You have to go find that next hot hand and ride him till he leaves, and then you go get the next one. It's how it goes. That's college football. That is the business of college football nowadays.
I agree, Colin. Colin, we're having some other phone calls. I appreciate you calling me in, man. I'd love for the comments to keep coming from you, brother. Thanks.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, guys, you can call in. I saw that we had a missed call. The phone number's right here. I keep getting personal messages asking about the phone number to call into the show. It is right here, 225-435-9387, 225-435-9387. Kate says, Blake, you drinking hard tonight, buddy? You damn right. All right, here we go. All right, you're on the line with Blake Ruffino and Are You Serious Sports. LSU just got their asses handed to them. Who we have on the phone tonight?
What's up, Blake? It's Kirk.
What's up, Kirk? How we doing, man?
Well, I'm going to put it to you like this. The mother-in-law came over to the place today, and she got introduced to SEC football reaction. She was very perturbed by me banging on the chair and cussing, and it's like, my God. But no, man, look, I know I'm gonna walk you a little bit off the edge here about the slinger. All right.
All right, walk me off the edge.
Yeah, I don't care. I want it. Yes, we threw underneath routes and all that, but what do you expect him to do when your offensive line is getting bitch slapped the entire damn game, and you have to get the ball out as quick as you can so your quarterback doesn't get killed?
Kirk, two things. Two quick things on that. Okay, number one, they're sending more people that they can block, okay, which is creating confusion. Last year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire caught 68 passes out of the backfield. You can run some running back screens like they did last year, and people stop sending blitzes after you. That's number one. Number two, last week you showed that it doesn't matter how many yards per carry you're getting. If you're getting 3 yards per carry, you're still going to run the football. There was a time there that they had 15 straight passing plays with 0 runs, and you were down 10-0. So I think that's where the problem is going to be, is that, hey, you ran 15 plays on offense and you called 15 passes with 0 runs, and you didn't try to generate shit, right? Like, Kurt, let me ask you this. Is that not a viable thing to look at on this LSU offense?
I think so. It's just, I really don't. I can't put 2 guys sliding protection. Your center and your guards are blocking 1 guy, and your guard's not even looking to look at the backside and seeing that blitzer coming. They did that all night. They brought the corner on a delayed blitz, and they slid the protection instead of, okay, let me chip this guy and look back, so that way I can pick up that delayed blitzer or anything.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
We have no push. We have no push.
None.
Ingram and you can't win a ball game. I don't care who's the offensive coordinator. You don't have anybody on the line. The game's won in the trenches. It's still won in the trenches. We can't protect. We can't run block. And me and you both know that the game starts between the hashes. And if you don't have nothing there, then you're going to lose.
Yeah, Kirk, I mean, I agree. And I think something that we talked about all week on the show was that I thought that this defense for the last 3 weeks has actually gotten better, and they showed that they kept you in the football game, and you can't generate any points. I feel like the defense has gotten better and the offense has regressed, right?
Absolutely. I think Bo Pelini changed the way he was trying to communicate to these guys, and it's paying off. I mean, they're running to the ball. They're hustling. They're making great form tackles 1-on-1. Defensive backs are playing well. Going back to the beginning of the game, going back to offense, that incomplete pass that was a touchdown, or at least down at the 1-inch line, that was a complete bullshit call. And I think that kind of took the sails out the team. Like, this team is so mentally fragile. If something doesn't go their way 100%, they shut down. Yeah,
and also, I mean, the very next play, Kirk, you have a pick, right? Like, you have an interception.
Yeah.
So, Kirk, we have a couple more phone calls calling in, bud. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah. Not a problem, bro. You have a good night.
You too. All right, guys, you can call in 225-435-9387. That's 225-435-9387. Do us a favor down here. Everyone hit the like and hit the share. We will take the phone calls. Let's see. Harold says 6 may have just caught his last 6 for the Tigers. Very possible. Very, very possible. That's the last catch and touchdown you see for Terrace Marshall. And quite honestly, after tonight, who fucking blames him? Again, excuse my language. But, I mean, I'm just pissed off, man. Adam Parr, big Alabama fan, also my cousin. So y'all chill out with the Alabama hate on him. Although you can do the Alabama hate. That's not what I'm saying. But don't target my man right here. He says, also playing much tougher competition at this point in the season. Yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you are. It's not going to get any easier. Next week, you got Alabama, who showed again today that they could beat the shit out of anybody. Blake says no leadership, players and coaches. Nope. I mean, on defense, Blake, I would push back. I mean, I thought that defensively they played fantastic. Look, that Texas A&M scored 20 points, guys and girls. 20 points they generated. One of them was a pick six. They gave up only 13 points on defense. Man, if you give only up 13 points on defense, don't look for the rest of the week and all of next week. I better not see one comment, because I was getting my ass handed to me last week about this defense and saying that they were getting better. Don't tell me that it's this defense. You give up 13 points, you should win the damn football game. There's no excuses. None. Zero. Mentally fragile. Yep, says Jason Sheridan. Yeah, they're mentally fragile. Especially on the offensive line. They played like – get to the YouTube comments, Blake. Okay, I'll try. R says, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me how to say that last name, even though I'm Italian. I don't want to butcher it. He says, what happened to getting our guys in space? That's how we win today, and we ain't even doing that. No, we're not doing that. Coach Chris Garrett, also an Alabama fan, says, Blake, yeah, we're going to get beat. Guys, I'm going to have to put an Alabama sign right here because I'm about to lose a bet. Because I've said that LSU could upset Alabama. It's not going to be good for me. People are going to get after my butt. Chase, I'm not going to read all of this, but Coach O said they were ready. Also said beginning of the season, this is the best O-line they ever had. At some point, all fingers need to be pointed at you. You are not the second highest paid coach to say, go Tigers, go win, and don't give a bleep. What it takes, this is LSU football. Yeah, I mean, look, he needs at some point some of the criticism. At some point, he's got to take some of the criticism. There's no question about that. I don't mind him also, guys, getting after TJ Finley there after the horrendous interception. I'm sure y'all got after Bo's ass last week because he cursed a couple players out, and you better get after O's ass. That's all I'm going to say. College football season on Twitter says LSU going to be back. I love this team. I think they'll be back, but I mean that doesn't stop the fact that they had just as much talent as Texas A&M tonight and only gave up 13 points on defense and got their asses whipped. They got their asses whipped. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this. Defensively, hell of a performance. Hell of a performance on defense. Nothing else you could ask for them. Why would you bet that this year? Why would I bet what? Oh, I bet it during COVID. I was actually drinking, little post-game show. I was drinking on a Friday night, and I made that bet with Coach Chris Garrett, who says, I love you, big dog, but I made that bet. I shouldn't have done that. It's a stupid bet, but we're going to do it. I'm going to have to put an Alabama sign right here on my great wood. Let's see. Arlen says, I'm going to be brutally honest. I went into the game expecting a loss. I figured the defense would be the reason. They did a great job. Our offensive coordinators were horrible. Our offensive line was horrible. We run the dang ball, slow the rush. Also, time for Max to get a start. I mean, there's nothing else I could say to that, y'all. Vic says, I don't care how bad the offensive line played tonight. The offensive staff let the QBs and O-line down. I agree with that wholeheartedly. They got outcoached. From start to finish, Steve Ensminger got outcoached tonight. There's not a question in my mind that Steve Ensminger got outcoached. None. I mean, he couldn't buy an answer tonight. He couldn't buy a first down at times. He couldn't buy a point tonight. A good coaches get in your ass. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Henry says LSU has no dogs up front anytime this year. They get punched in the mouth up front and there's no response. It's mentally you play O-line. You got to be nastiest son of a gun on the damn field. And this performance is just sad. I can't disagree, y'all. I can't disagree. Let's see. Lester Aber says, pretty evident why Linehan has been fired so many times. Yeah, he played. Look, his third down. Look, you went 12 of 23 last week, and tonight you went 2 of 16. Also, on the flip side, Texas A&M went 2 of 16. Guys, you had more completions from your two true freshman quarterbacks than Kellen Mond did tonight with 11 of 34. LSU's penalties kicked their ass, 11 of 79. You had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, a fumble lost. You just got your asses kicked all over the offense. I don't know. College football season says freshman QBs and bad O-line play was the problem, and I agree. Ensminger got outcoached. Yeah, he got outcoached. And quite honestly, he got outcoached in 2017. He got outcoached in 2018. Joe Brady comes in and puts some couple little wrinkles in, and then you do what you do. Scott Linehan's not helping him at all. Harold says Cordell Flott should get a steak dinner tonight from those bad refs. Yeah, he was playing lights out too. Guys, this defense is going to continue to get better. Now, you got the biggest test of all season next week in Alabama. The biggest test. But they played lights out tonight. They played really good last week with 3 of the 5 starting defensive backs out. Mo Hampton was out again tonight. So, we'll see. Michael Ray says, I've never seen a worse duo than Hines and Shanahan. Yeah, they're really bad. They've been playing really bad together. But you can't convince, and a lot of that is Shanahan taking the defensive lineman, and Hines has to go out there and take the linebacker that's blitzing. You can't convince me that there's not a better guy right now than Chasen Hines on that sideline. Hell, put in Anthony Bradford. Hell, put in Cordell Thomas. Put in somebody. But God, did he play a horrendous game. Absolutely horrendous. Adam Parr says, have to look at coaching when you have the talent that LSU does on its roster. Look, guys, you guys are spitting straight facts. Spinning 100% straight facts. Let's see. Lester said Flott and Baskerville played great games. Yeah, there's not I mean, look, you can't really criticize, and you shouldn't criticize anybody on this defense. Hey, by the way, just throwing this out there, let's look at this performance tonight from LSU and Texas A&M offensively. 2 of 16 on third down. Total yards, the exact same. LSU 267, Texas A&M 267. You outgain them in the air. They outgain you in the on the ground. I mean, you had 36 rushing yards on 25 attempts, 162 for Texas A&M. That's where they beat you. I mean, well, really not just there, but pretty much. I mean, defense gave up some yardage, but you got to be able to run the football. That's where you beat you. And you still have the same exact yardage on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Trader Steele drew up an elaborate blitz scheme against some true freshmen. Yeah, he showed everything tonight, boy. Let's see. Linehan hasn't made one single contribution all year. He is a for sure canned. Yeah, he better be. Harold's photo looks like the cover of NWA. Maybe. I don't know. I never really realized that. Let's see. Marvin Mackey says, talk about that O-line effing horrible. Ingram, Hines, Dare. Yeah, they all played like shit. Because, quite honestly, some of them on the offensive line are shit. I mean, I think Chasen Hines isn't bad, but, man, he doesn't know what the frick to do out there. He has no clue what to do. That's the problem with Chasen Hines. It's not from a physical standpoint. That's not the problem. It's from a mental standpoint that, I mean, he just looks lost out there, y'all. Completely lost. And as Marvin Mackey says right here again, got beat by 3- and 4-man fronts. If you can't run against 3-man fronts, if you can't protect against 4-man fronts, you're going to get your asses beat. And you did. Let's see. Bucknut says maybe when Tom Herman gets fired at Texas, he should make a great OC in Baton Rouge. I don't think that Ed Orgeron would make that hire, considering the fact that Tom Herman was the coach that he was battling against the LSU job. I just can't see that. At all. Alex Keene says, WTF was saying about Flott GD Harold. Okay. Don't know what that means. Chris Landry says, I'm most disappointed in the lack of any swag whatsoever. No juice out there at all. Well, you had the juice from defense, Chris. The juice was definitely out there from the defense. I mean, y'all got to stop blaming the defense at some point. I mean, when you're not scoring points and you're only averaging 5 to 7 points per game over the last 3 games, y'all got to stop blaming the defense. If you can't put points on the board, you're going to get your ass whipped. There's just no other way around that, y'all. No other way around that. Yep, I just got another personal message. Yep, you can call right here, 225-435-9387, 225-435-9387. Get a couple more of these comments. Let's see. Aaron said something. I missed it. Aaron Adams says, we only have one offensive lineman committed so far, plus we were promised the best coordinators. Yeah. December 16th is right around the corner. Michael Ray says, I mean, do we slide Deculus to offensive guard and put Rosenthal and Wire on the ends? That could be good. I mean, you gotta mix something up because you're giving up too much shit. Let's see. Defense holds opponents to 2 and 26 on third downs. Last 2 games, defense is improving. I agree with that. The defense is greatly improving. And quite honestly, offense on third down has been shit. Guys, we're not even close to 50% on third down for LSU's offense. Not even close. Let's see. Matt Guidry says, I don't think anything is a test no more this season. I just love to see the defense takes another big step against Alabama to keep them from blowing the scoreboard up. You better pray for it because that offense for Alabama is that's not slowing down. Definitely the best offense in the SEC. Let's see. Kellen says, how much of an impact does those performances truly affect recruiting like Foreman, Smith, and Lee? I don't think it affects this year, but it's going to affect moving forward. It's definitely going to affect moving forward. All right, you on the line with Blake Ruffino and Are You Serious Sports. Who do we have on the phone tonight?
This is Alex King.
Well, Alex. Okay, Mr. King. Good to hear from you, my
call
man.
in, man.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
I was putting it off, but I decided to call you.
Yep.
See how
Well,
your Washington Paris Turkey Day went.
my Washington Paris Turkey Day went fine. My Washington Paris Turkey Day during the weekend is going to absolute shit because we can't score points on offense.
Yeah, I agree with you, but there's a lot of other things. First off, Watt played really good. He looked really good. And that defense has come a long way, even though everybody wants to fire Pelini. I get it. But the other thing is, too, is TJ is a hell, and so is Max. They're both 18-year-old freshman kids who are hell of quarterbacks. Hell of. And they've been thrown in a situation they really should not have been thrown in. Now, I get it. Ensminger's making calls. These guys are making calls. I get that. You know, they're 18-year-olds. They're listening to what they're told, and that's the right thing they should do. They're 18-year-old freshmen that had no spring or summer practice. They haven't played in – they're playing sporadically games, whether they be at home or at Arkansas or in College Station, wherever. I'm not trying to take up for them, but these are 18-year-old kids who should never be playing right now.
No, and really the biggest question and answer I got all during the game was, oh, well, if Miles Brennan was in, well, shit, Miles Brennan's not in. Miles Brennan's hurt. He was hurt in 18. He's hurt again. He can't stay healthy. So you're going to have to figure something out at quarterback because you can't rely on his ass.
Well, I'm going back to administration really on this because you had Joe Burrow, who became a Heisman Trophy winner in his last season year. You have Brennan sitting on the side the whole year. Nobody thought ahead like, hey, you know, maybe we can get a transfer in to maybe have Brennan and somebody else so we don't have to potentially maybe put two 18-year-olds out on a field.
I don't know, Alex. I don't know. I mean,
it's good experience, and I think it'll help us in the long run if they don't get hurt. But, man, I think there's a lot of good playmakers on that team, and they're being made look really bad by administration and people way above them that they have no control over.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, and as Angel says right here on the chat, I mean, I don't know really truthfully too if Miles Brennan would have been in the game that it would have been that big of a difference. I mean, because the O-line, the O-line was complete shit. I mean, they played horrendous.
I totally agree, but doesn't this come to recruiting where you don't have just one person playing a football position? You know that from your days. You may, especially, I mean, maybe high school, you have dual players, but in college, you should have 4 or 5 really good people behind the person that's starting. In college, I mean, in pros, it goes beyond that. So where did we go wrong in that? Did we just put all our chips in the bucket last year and Joe Burrow is going to carry the day and hope to God Terrence Marshall carries it this year? And that doesn't sound like a good business future project to me.
Well, you lost 31 people from your team last season, so I don't think anybody should rightfully have expected for this team to just absolutely kill it. But what I don't think is for, you know, you're 7 games in and this team to be 3-4. I don't think people expected that, Alex, and I don't think people expected to get their teeth kicked in by Texas A&M when you put up that defensive performance. Alex, last question, we'll get you out of here. But if I would have told you of any part of the season, if LSU's defense would only give up 13 points in a game, you would have damn near guaranteed that they would win the football game, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's the point, right? And that's the point. They only gave up 13 points and they got beat. So that, I mean, it falls on offense,
absolutely.
My man. Alex, I appreciate you. Go ahead.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll see you another time. You have a good holiday. Man.
All right, you too. Soon. All right, thanks, Alex. All right, guys, you can call in 225-435-9387. We're going to go a little bit longer in this postgame show, and I'm going to go get me some shut-eye because it is getting a little late up in this biatch. Let's see, Peggy Red. Hey, Peggy. She says, agree, Alex. Really thought we should have gotten a transfer quarterback knowing Miles was injury prone. Yeah. I mean, but then one of your two freshmen wouldn't be here. Texas A&M is not a top 5 team. I really don't think. No, I don't think they are either. I think they suck. I'm just being honest. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me. That's not a top 5 team. When you have a quarterback in Kellen Mond that goes 11 of 34, bullshit. That team sucks. They put up 13 points on offense, and they put up 13 points against Vanderbilt in week 1. That team sucks ass. And you know what? You just lost to them. Period. So how does that make us feel that you just got your asses blown out by a team that you have no business losing to when your defense gives up 13 freaking points? Before you go and comment on the LSU basketball game, didn't get to watch it, how they look like trash. Same, New Year, same shit. Nothing different. Before I get to Brandon's comment here, this comment right here, yeah, like JT Daniels. Did you see what JT Daniels did today? Let me go back to this. This 100%, this JT Daniels and you going and recruiting him is 100%. Y'all gonna make me start cursing big time. Marvin says, Mond sucks ass. Yeah, he sucks ass. He sucks. And you got beat by him. Let's see. Derek says, what in the hell did Linehan do to get a job? He has done nothing. I had no idea. Ed feels comfortable with older coaches, and every time he hires an older coach, he gets his ass whipped. Let's see. Michael Ray says, Tamu and UGA, University of Georgia, the most overhyped teams in the SEC. Well, shit, Georgia's coming on with JT Daniels, a guy that you were in the hunt for. I told my wife boo-boo, says Marvin. Kate says, wonder what the point spread will be against Bama next week. I would honestly, I think it'd probably be close to 28-30. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets in the 30s. Angel says, we suck this year. Yeah, we're not playing good. Blake says, basketball can't help lay for stop or a 3-pointer. Yeah, they can't stop a 3-pointer. No, here's the equivalent. It's like LSU scoring points in the last 3 games. They can't do it. I'm glad all you guys showed up. I'm glad all 106 of you showed up. Thank you for showing up. Because our team sucks. Sorry. He called Blake Ruffino, and I said, hire me. Who said that? I mean, they can hire you. I mean, hell, your team's winning more than your team's scoring more points offensively, Coach Bacon, than LSU is right now. Maybe you have a little bit more of innovative thinking on the offensive side of the football. Let's see. My man R said, you know what? We're going to come up with a new name. RC. How about that? RC. I'm tired of hearing Mond will lead A&M to the promised land for the last 3 years. Boy's Dookie. Yeah, boy is Dookie water. He sips on that Dookie water, too. He says he's the best quarterback in the SEC. He's not the third, fourth best quarterback in the SEC. Dude's a Dookie water. Peggy Red says, was hoping LSU would have gotten Daniels even at the expense of the freshman quarterback. I mean, you can't disagree with her here. You can't disagree. I mean, because our offense can't score. We're having problems scoring the football. Scott Linehan, look, I know a lot of you that are watching right now watches during the week. I was begging, and I've been begging for Scott Linehan to get his happy ass up out of LSU and to you either promote Russ Callaway or bring somebody else in, because Scott Linehan ain't brought shit to you all night long. College football season says, good night, y'all. Go Tigers. Future still bright. I agree with that. Marvin Mackey says, what's Coach O's excuse going to be? He better not come with no damn excuse, because if Coach O starts coming up with excuses, I'm going to light his ass up on this show. There's no excuses right now. There's no when that defense goes out there with that performance, there is no freaking excuses. None. And if he makes an excuse, it's because him and Ensminger are boys. There are no excuses. RC says, yeah, RC sounds good to me. LMAO. Callaway, give him a shot. I agree with that. Bundy says, can't wait to hear O's excuses this week. We got to coach better and all. You got to get some asses bench some folks. Yeah, and you got to fire some coaches, unfortunately. You gotta let some guys go because this shit is not going to be acceptable at LSU. It's just not, y'all. It's just not. Let's see. Cade says, I would like to know the down and distance on the average on third downs on offense. Well, we have the guys that do it at AYS for our stats. We'll get that for you. Jamie says none. Yeah, there are no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. And if he trots his happy ass out there and starts making excuses, I'm done with it. Like, I'm done with it, and I'm done with him. Not done with him, like, legitimate, like we should let him go, but I'm just done with the excuses. Peggy Red brings up a great question. She says, will any reporter have the guts to challenge coaches' poor performance on Tell the Truth Monday? Hell no. Hell no. This week, the only thing reporters were reporting about was, oh, this defense is really, really bad, y'all. Oh, my God, they're really, really bad. And all of you that watch this show, I told you that they were going to come out there and do what they did tonight. Go back and watch the last 4 videos on AYS Network. I told you that was about what was about to happen on this defensive side of the football. No, they don't have the guts. As if you've ever watched the movie Major League 2, they don't have the marbles to go out there and ask him the serious questions. Hey, do you need to let people on offense go? Because regardless, even when you were scoring points against Mississippi State, you should have been able to run the football to take pressure off of your defense. God. Do you think Scott Woodward, Nancy says, do you think Scott Woodward will get involved in the firing? Hell yeah, he'll get involved. Because he's got to come up with the money ultimately. Hell yeah, Nancy, he'll get involved. It's a fantastic question. Hell yeah, he'll get involved. Derek says all these QBs were 33 and 81, all around 200 yards and a TD and 2 picks. And you lost. Brandon says Kirby better watch out Georgia because he waited too long to put JT Daniels in, but he did make it. He did put him in. Okay, a couple more comments. Sean says, whatever happened to Torrey Carter? Absolutely no commitment in the running the ball. Don't know. I mean, he was out, might be injured. I'm not sure. I have to go check that out. Hadn't heard. Peggy Red says, dang, how do we get you in there to ask him the tough questions? I can get in there, but I'm not going to. I mean, they're not going to let me in because they know I'm going to ask. Jamie says the defense showed up tonight. Yeah, they did big time. Hey, I'll see y'all next week for a guaranteed entertaining show. Take it easy, Blake. All right, RC. We'll see you next week, bud. Well, you know what? We might be heading out with RC here. We'll get a couple more comments. When you suck, you run the freaking football. Yeah, you do. Lester says, need to bring in the BYU OC. Well, you know, he was your former offensive line coach. Yeah, he was your former offensive line coach. All right, guys, we're going to head out. It's time for me to head out. Got nothing else to say. Going to go sleep. Get this loss off my mind. All right, guys. My name is Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everywhere for Are You Serious Sports. Y'all have a good night.